by the way, if you have already seen the transformation video series, Transformation Using Flow, the next 3 slides, the audio comes directly from that. And so you can fast forward to the 17 tiles on the transformation slide. So you can skip the next 3 slides. The leadership takeaways for this video are that you should print these out, the flow in a nutshell slides. There's 4 of them here. And I would print them out on 11 by 17 paper and put them up on the wall in your office or at your cubicle or in your desk area. And if you have a team room, definitely there. And I would put up maybe 8.5 by 11 in your executive's office, or do 11 by 17. These become really good conversation tools for communicating quickly what needs to be done. We're also revisiting the path to becoming an FCP, FCC, and FCT in this video. For the flow leadership, on the left-hand side of this is the people portion. And we've got the first triangle with the mental, physical, and social, with the person's vision, spirit in the middle. And this is has a very interesting base and starting point. This was first brought forward by Ted as early as 1972. And he used it to take a insurance company that was losing $500,000 a year, and he turned it around and ended up, I think it was, they were doing $4.5 million in sales, so it was a $5 million turnaround for that agency, and so the company just loved him. And he used this with his salespeople and excuse me, with his staff, and he used it to breathe life into people. And so when you look at it, it's pretty straightforward. Your mental part is your thoughts, your ideas, your right truth. That's 4R model. Physical is literally your physical health and your physical capabilities. And the social part, that's the relational part. That's the networking part. That's the person's ability to interact with other people. And when you look at this from a, for example, project viewpoint, we used to teach in classic project management that communications was 80% of everything we do in projects. Well, these days, communications is 95%, especially when you take Agile, Lean, Kanban, and all these other things into consideration. The 4R model here is for the people. We've talked about that previously. And then we combine the 2 triangles, okay? And so the mental aligns with right truth and distilling your right values and attitudes. The physical is when you take the abstract thought and turn it into physical action. And then right results, if you're getting right results, that's going to help you socially and relationally. And it's the relational social part that keeps those 2 sides of the triangle up. If that breaks, the sides of the triangle fall flat. As always, we have the transformation box in the middle, the 4 lenses there, or the 4 main tiles, individual, team, product, and organization. We have the AHA curve that we use for both people, teams, the product program level, and the organization level. And then for the teams in the organization, we have a mirror image of the original model Ted had for people. We have that for the team, where you have business knowledge, tools and technology, and relationships communication at the top. We also use vision, strategy, people, and tasks here for the team level. And then we had one additional box here, or one additional triangle actually. And it's one mind, one language, one mind, one plan. Okay? If you're all speaking the same language, it's easier to get everybody on the same page, which makes it easier to plan and deliver. But if the language is confused, guess what? You're going to have problems. And so we took those two triangles, combined them together, and put them over the 4D model that we talked about before with define, distill, deliver, and drive. And then you have the one language is coming from the business knowledge side. The one mind needs to be distilled over on the tools and technology side so that they can deliver the tools and technology we need to succeed. And then the drive is the one plan and making sure that everybody's still on the same page. We didn't get too much into languages of leadership versus language of management. We go more into depth on that in our Flow Certified Professional Training. But very simply, as you looked at what we used in Cascading Vision with the different levels there, the upper levels, and that line in the middle can move. It might be as high as senior management. It might be down below project management. It's not a hard and fast line. It's just there for demonstration purposes and to keep it symmetrical. But in those upper boxes, there's what we call the language of leadership. And then definitely by the time you're down to project level, you're definitely into the language of management. And those are two different languages. And so if you look at the right two boxes with individual and team, those are clearly language of management. When you get into the product box, that's probably evenly split between language of leadership and language of management. And then in the organization box, at the leadership levels, guess what? That's the language of leadership. If you've ever listened to the executives speak with each other, you'll notice that they're communicating almost in a completely different code. It's a pattern, it can be learned, and if you want to be a really great project, program, or portfolio manager, you need to learn to speak the language of the leadership in your organization. And that includes knowing when to put your agile coaching hat on and when to put your management consulting hat on, because we need to understand, are the executives looking at this from an innovation perspective, or are they looking at this from an operational excellence perspective? And how do we help them know and understand when it's time to do creative destruction for the existing operational excellence structures and processes that may already exist? As always, we have the 4 box for transformation in the middle there. And here I just had this, the people that I like working with, people who dream big, people who get things done. People might be familiar with GSD, and people who have fun, and the sweet spot is there in the middle. Life's short, work is hard, you might as well work with something where you're having some fun, okay? We talked about cascading vision and cascading the VSBT, cascading the one thing, and creating the link back to the next level up from the level below with the one thing that they need in order to succeed. And we also talked about culture and the elements of culture, including vision, mission, purpose, core values and attitudes, strategies, goals and objectives, where that's basically going from really abstract ideas down to more concrete ideas. And last but not least, in flow leadership in a nutshell, and this is used often by the teams, the flow friction analysis. If we're seeing anarchy on a team or project, man, they probably have the wrong vision. If we're seeing anxiety in the team, or that the team members are anxious, that probably means that there's probably at least one person who's not the right fit for the team, and we need to figure out who that is. If there's confusion, most likely is because they didn't do their definitions. And if there's politics, without exception, that means that there's no agreement. And if there's chaos, that just means that the team's unable to deliver. And if there's division, then most likely, once again, that means that they're not able to drive because there's no vision. or there's multiple visions. So that's basically flow leadership in a nutshell. Feel free to print these out. There's copies of this floating around the net. And remember, these don't do any good in the books or in the presentations. You need to take them, print them out, start using them in your teams, in your projects, in your programs, in your portfolios. And I guarantee you, if you start doing that and you do it consistently, and you follow what we've taught, you follow the path, you follow the patterns, most of the time, on the average, you're going to come out ahead. So that would be my encouragement to you, is actually give this a try. It works. This isn't theory. We've done this for over a quarter of a century, over 25 years. Ted and I worked on honing this, and we've done project after project, case after case. By the way, I've recorded another series on why use flow, and it lays out all of the business cases why you would want to use flow. I can't imagine a single company or a single individual or a single team or any organization that wouldn't want to use flow in order to take everyone to the next level of performance and to try to get everybody moving the same direction and loving it. Actually, for this deck, the last slide was not last but least. We've got a couple more slides to go through. As I shared in the transformation deck, this slide was about 10 minutes long, and it shows the 17 tiles or areas or plates, if you prefer the plate spinner metaphor, that you would need to keep in motion if you're going to do a successful transformation. And you cannot scale agile or do any kind of transformation without keeping all of these areas in mind. So they go hand in hand. It's not an either or, it's a both and. And as I shared all throughout all the presentations, you can't transform in one of the four areas: individual, team, product, or organization. You can't just focus on one area, do some scaling or transformation, and believe that you're actually done. It doesn't work that way. So take the time to use all of the elements of flow in what you're doing. And so whether you're working at the team level, you can be successful. Whether you're working at the product, program, process, line management level, you can be successful. And especially if you're working at the organizational level from portfolio and above, this works. This will deliver to you what you need in order to succeed. So this works. We've been doing this for a quarter of a century. This is well honed, and you need to think seriously about, hey, is this something that I can actually use in my organization? Reach out to me, let's chat, we'll talk. I can give you case after case after case after case across multiple industries, showing you that yes, this is going to work in your organization. We've seen this over and over and over and over again. So I'm not going to take any more time on this slide, but don't hesitate to reach out to me and let's chat. Soon you'll be completing the rest of the FCP online training that I've moved to Moodle, and that includes this slide deck, a couple slide decks on why use flow, why become an FCP, an introduction to flow, along with one more section that you'll be doing after this section, and that's the flow-based agile. And Once you're done with that section and passed all 6 quizzes, then you can apply to become certified as an FCP. After that, there are some additional steps if you want to pursue that. There's the Flow Certified Coach and also the Flow Certified Trainer. But so far, so good. You're through a majority of the training. You only have about 4 hours left of materials and quizzes. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to being able to send your FCP certificate to you in the very near future. The path to becoming a Flow certified coach is a new certification that we're doing. It is a in-between step now between Flow Certified Professional and Flow Certified Trainer. We added this as a new certification here in 2020, and it's sort of a result of what happened with the COVID-19 coronavirus situation, where we decided to take the Flow Certified Professional and put that totally online. And so for everyone who has done a case study, you will be able to apply for and receive a Flow Certified Coach certificate. And this one is a little bit different than the Flow Certified Professional. It's based on that, and that you've successfully completed the Flow Certified Professional, the FCP, and then you'll complete the half-day online Flow Certified Coach course material. And there's a fee for this one, and there'll probably be the pay gate in front of the certification work, so you'll pay that up front. After you've completed the half-day online course, you will then attend a half-day online exercise for the Flow Certified Coach. And you'll do that either with another Flow Certified Coach that has been authorized to facilitate these online exercises, or with a full-fledged Flow Certified Trainer. It depends on demand and availability. After those 2 half-day activities are completed, you will do a 3 to 24 month Flow case study. And the case study template follows the outline in my book, Flow. You can either use an existing case study or an assignment that you're currently working on, or you can use a previous successful project or assignment that you did. You can use that for your case. When those are completed, then you'll turn in the case study, and once that's reviewed either by your Flow Certified Coach or by your Flow Certified Trainer, after that, then you will receive your Flow Certified Coach certificate via email. And so this is a new certification that we're working with this year, and this is an in-between step. And what's really important about this one is that it helps you take the theory out of the book and apply it to a real world case. And it's really important because the information, the frameworks, the models, the methodology, the mindset, it doesn't do you any good if you just leave it in the book. You need to be able to take it out of the book and apply it in the real world. And that's what the Flow Certified Coach certification is all about. As I mentioned in the previous slide, there is now an in-between step in between Flow Certified Professional and Flow Certified Trainer, and that's the Flow Certified Coach. And so the path to becoming a Flow certified trainer includes both the Flow certified professional certification and the Flow certified coach certification, completing both of those. After you've completed those, typically what we did before is you would co-facilitate 2 to 5 live sessions with a full-fledged Flow certified trainer, and it would either be the FCP or FCC courses that you would be facilitating live. But with the advent of what's happened with COVID-19, and until those restrictions are lifted, and until live courses are once again being held. Now, I actually sat in these last couple of weeks on some webinars with Dr. Daniel Burris, and one of the participants, another consultant, also who is a trainer and who also has IPR, intellectual property rights. He asked the question, hey, what about us who are doing training and consulting? How long should we plan for this to be the way it is right now until we can get back to what we were doing before? And Dr. Burr said, well, I'm not sure we'll ever get back to what we were doing before, but in the meantime, you need to take everything online, and it's going to take minimum, in his view, up to 12 months to even start having in classes that are live, okay, where people can participate in class. Primarily due to people are going to be very cautious and careful about attending live sessions for training and things like that. So people are going to have a much higher threshold for that risk than what they've had in the past. So because of that, we've suspended temporarily the requirement to do the live code trainings. Okay. Now, instead, what we're asking for you to do is to co-facilitate between 2 to 5 of the Flow certified coach online exercise sessions with a full-fledged FCT. So in order for you to, even if you just want to stay a coach, that's okay. You can still do the code training, and you would then be authorized as a coach to do the live facilitations. Okay. But if you want to be the trainer, then you would want to do these as well. After you've done the co-training sessions, then you'll get a link where you can pay your fee to become a Flow certified trainer for those that are interested in that. And you'll get that via email. So the path to becoming an FCT, it's still the same work. We've just broken it up slightly different, where the Flow Certified Professional is a completely online course now. The Flow Certified Coach is sort of a online/hybrid, but it's still, even though it's live instructor led, that doesn't mean that everybody's in class together. It's going to be online sessions as well. And so those are some of the things that have changed here just in the last couple months, and how we're looking at how we need to get things done in order to move Flow forward. As a recap, the path to becoming a Flow certified trainer has been slightly modified with the addition of the new Flow certified coach here in the middle. So it's basically to successfully complete your FCP, the Flow Certified Professional, and all the steps that are involved with that. It involves passing 6 quizzes and looking at the materials, the videos that are online, as well as having read Nehemiah Effect and Flow. For the Flow Certified Coach, that's going to be a half day of online video training, and the other half day of a live, either coach or trainer led session. And then for those that do the co-training and are interested and have a passion for training, they can go on to complete the Flow Certified Trainer should they wish to do that. So we're looking forward to having you with and helping you in your journey, whether or not you just want to be an FCP, or if you want to be the FCC level, or even all the way to the FCT level. We're here to support you and work with you and help you get to higher and higher levels of success. So in this section, in the way of a recap, we looked at the flow in a nutshell slides and how you can use those and print them out, put them up. The PDF will be available in the training area. And then we revisited the paths to becoming an FCP, an FCC, and or an FCT. And so here's the application for what we're doing here. Think about how to make things in your workspace big and visible. As I mentioned earlier, you use the nutshells for conversations with your team members, stakeholders, executives, whoever you need to work with. And for those of you that are really pursuing excellence and you want to become the absolute best, I would encourage you to actually pursue the Flow Certified Professional, the Flow Certified Coach, and then ultimately the Flow Certified Trainer. It will make you a very complete leader in your organization.